Hey everybody, my name's Pete. That's my buddy Ed, and I got something real special for y'all today. Something that I've been looking forward to for many years. I've been looking forward to making this video specifically long before this channel was even a thing. I have gone over it in my head how I would do it, and just endlessly thought about making this video. And at the end of the day, it's just best if I just jump in. There's so much to say. There's so much to say. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it. Yep, we're playing PT today, the original, on original hardware. And there's a story about, because I don't actually have this on my PlayStation account, so I have a story about how this all kind of came to be. Wait for it to load, and gives me a chance to share with you guys. So I did the infamous method where I re-downloaded PT to my console. But like I mentioned, I never had it on my account. So what I had is a very good friend who it's kind of actually his fault that he got me into, like, he's the one who showed me PT before I even had a PS4, before all that. He showed it to me and I became obsessed with it, like absolutely obsessed with it. Anybody who knows me knows how obsessed I was with this game. um so anyways, we did the account sharing thing. Don't hate me, PlayStation, please don't hate me, PlayStation. We did the account sharing thing, and uh I was able to use, because he had downloaded on his account, I was able to use the re-download method and get this onto my PlayStation. And then we've just kind of left things like this. So this specific console, the specific brick that's behind me, is very special to me because it contains this. It contains this piece of gaming history. And very soon, from what I understand, and I'm not out here trying to promote messing with your hardware or anything, but there is a jailbreak method. Um, I do have a plan to jailbreak this PS4, literally only to have this on there, to have a hardwired copy that isn't beholden to network issues and system updates and all this other kind of stuff. Anyways, you all know the story. 2014 August, this thing, Gamescom, it just pops up. No one knows what it is, and took the world by storm. And we have lived through a decade of indie games inspired by the following piece of media. So I'm gonna play through it. This is completely blank, brand new game save, and I have played this game thousands of times. Thousands of times. I've put in probably thousands of hours playing this, walking these hallways, just soaking in the atmosphere. I truly love this piece of media. So I will do my best in my playthrough to show everything, and I know I don't often do that on my videos because I don't like to spoil. But this is one of those things where this is me adding my little bit to the preservation of this, and commenting on it, and talking about kind of what I was going through and what drove me into doing what I did. I mean, the only reason I did music for the game Visage was because I was so obsessed with BT, and I was so heartbroken when the cancellation happened. So, anyways, without further ado, let's begin one of the most terrifying pieces of media that I've ever played. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you? And everybody knows at this point, if you look very, very close, you can see Lisa. Just barely in that door. Just barely. She's there. You know, interesting to me as a developer. It's been 10 years. And nobody's been able to match, like, the way the character moves. No one's been able to match that. Tilt right, no tilt. Tilt right, no tilt. I mean, this is passing through the door and making it that clean. Amazing. I was watching the Boundary Break episode on this last night.
The father purchased a rifle used in the crime at his local gun store 2 days earlier. This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon.
Sorry, it's too good.
The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved the rifle, and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot once in the chest from point-blank range. The mother, who he shot in the stomach, was pregnant at the time. Police arriving on scene after neighbors called 911 found the father in his car listening to the radio. Several days before the murders, neighbors say they heard the father repeating a sequence of numbers in a loud voice. They said it was like he was chanting some strange spell. There was another family shot to death in the same state last month, and in December last year, a man used a rifle and meat cleaver to murder his entire family. In each case, the perpetrators were fathers. State police say this string of domestic homicides appears unrelated, though it could be part of a larger trend such as employment, child care, and other social issues facing the average family.
All right. So now that that's complete, we can take it all in. I was mentioning the Boundary Break episode. So at any given point, there's 2 instances of this hallway loaded. And that's how they accomplished the looping, which I thought was really cool. Another thing which I think is really nice, and I think a lot of developers miss this when they're doing their homage games or whatever, is the distance blurring from close objects to distant objects. It focuses almost as fast as your real eyes focus. At least it feels like it does to me. Whereas a lot of people struggle with that in their games, where, like, right here, how the picture frame is in focus, like, it would just be blurry. Like, they don't capture that. It's all of that being said, is the point is this is 10 years on and it's still this good. Like, it's still unmatched, really. There have been good games, and I will be playing very, very, very soon Silent Hill Short Message, especially now that I've been able to record this video. I'm going to be playing Silent Hill Short Message just because I want to juxtapose the two, because it's night and day. I mean, don't get me wrong, Short Message looks great. It's a cool game. It's fun. Yay, Silent Hill. But it just wasn't, to me at least, it wasn't terrifying, right? This was terrifying. This is still terrifying. That's why I'm going slow, because I already know I'm going to be very bothered very soon here. But anyways, let's move along to our next loop. The room tone. The buzz of the light. Oh wow, the ticking of the clock. That's something that I I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really pay attention to. Maybe it's because I'm doing this video now, so I'm really trying to soak it all in. This is so cool. The story behind this is that I let my dad borrow my PS4, and he lives in a different state than I do. So my PS4 has been away from me for 2 years now. Maybe a little more. And obviously this channel's only a couple months old at this point, but I've been dying. Oh, the door is closed. I've been dying to get my PS4 back to, yeah, just to do this. And there's our little friends. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not playing this in a I don't know how you would call it. I'm not playing this like someone who's never played it before and has no idea what's coming next. Still bothers me so much though. It's still just like everything about it is just uncomfortable. The light buzz, the rain on the windows, the claustrophobia of being captured in the hallway, like you can't go anywhere. Ah yes, R3. My voice, can you hear it? This sign, can you read it? I'll wait forever if you'll just come to me. Such an interesting way of showing mechanics as well. Like, hey, by the way, follow these cockroaches. Oh, you know how you have an R3 button? Press it. Like, just neat stuff. I'm just looking over at my laptop to see the recording itself, and oh man, this is so cool. So now it has been a few years since I've played this, like the actual proper. So I don't remember the exact method for beating it. I remember I came prepared. I have a microphone to hook up to my controller at a certain point to start spamming the word. And we'll talk about that later. But I can't remember if it's 10 steps, spam the word. I can't remember. I'm probably going to look it up. I've never heard that before. Not the banging. The banging I know. The scratching. It is coming from the bathroom. Oh, I know it's coming. Oh, it's got chills on my body. Hi, Lisa. Missed you. Haven't seen you in a while. You doing okay? Still haven't gotten that eye looked at, have you? What's with it, dude? Go shopping. Buy another shoe. Out. Time for loopy loops. I wish I could be funnier with this video, but it's just this piece of media specifically is so important to me. And yeah, no, I'm not gonna sit here, like, I know everybody did their, I mean, it's been 10 years. Everybody's done their analysis videos and their I know more about blah blah blah. I mean, okay, there's certain things we do know. It's not Jareth. It's not Jareth. We know that. We already know that. Oh, it's time. I remember the first time I did that. How about fill my drawers? I was not happy when that happened. I was like, what is going on? And there's letters on screen, and it's, the VHS aesthetic, and oh my god. Okay, I can't race too fast. The thought of designing a puzzle like this, though. What was that? It's the one he put his hand on my hand or something like that. I can't remember all the translations. I probably should have researched deeply. Nah. I'm just looking at all the stuff that I remember that really got me. So the whole idea of and the music kicks in. Oh, that's really dark. Psst. I think I've got everything. Yeah, let's just do this one first. Oh, that was weird. Oh, I missed all the bugs coming out. Which I thought was a very nice touch. And look, there's a lot of argument of, is this a real Silent Hill game? Look, I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to have that debate with people. Look, there's so much that you can interpret for yourself with this game, and if you haven't figured that out, yeah, you need some therapy. Yes, I know, baby boy, I know. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Ah, screw it. Hi, Lisa. Even little details like that, like the door bangs up against the wall when it opens. That's so good. I am purposely going to try to get killed by Lisa so we can see the bag scene. That is my goal in this playthrough. Death Stranding foreshadowing. Yeah, there's just a lot. I mean, it's just, how do you encapsulate 10 years of your life into one video? Mr. Forcell's music is amazing. Well, call it music, call it ambience, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, I think that's all of them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be everything. Something that this is just like a personal note for me. I love the idea of a puzzle that does nothing other than give you a clue. And it doesn't unlock anything in the game. It doesn't, like, there's no mechanic attached to the puzzle. It's not like as soon as you complete this puzzle, then this happens, right? Like, we did the whole thing. We can move to the next loop without ever having. You can go through the whole game without ever having picked up all the pictures. Oh, I saw you pop in. Never seen that before. New things every time. Yeah, I know where you are. I know what you're doing. Oh, you creepy, creepy, creepy woman. Oh, man. Ugh. There were weeks I couldn't get this image out of my head. It still gives me chills. I'm still getting chills right now. We know, yeah. And the fact that when the lights go out, she gets louder. She gets a lot louder. Yeah, we can't see anything there right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to raise the brightness up just a little bit. It may just be because I have my light on and it's shining at me. That's why I'm struggling to see it. But yeah, so I was saying, open-ended puzzle. Thought that was really cool. Reminded me a lot of the original Silent Hill, and I mean Silent Hill 1, which I am right now playing on the channel. I promise I will get back to. Just the holidays. The holidays. So in that game, like, it was literally pull out the pen and paper, write stuff down so you remember it. This game had that feel. This experience had that feel. I struggle calling it a game, and I think we all should struggle calling it a game because it really is. It's an interactive teaser. It's showing off technology that could be used for something bigger. And that's something... Oh, we're about to get locked in here. You know, before we go in there, I've always been curious, and I've never done this. I've never just gone and looked around. Because usually it's like the door opens and you just run in there, right? This game literally, it drove me. It was like, okay, you need to figure out how to make games like this. This game was the reason I've met a lot of the folks that I've worked with. This is what led to a lot of the projects I've worked on, and yeah, just that shot is just so brilliant. Oh, fantastico. Yeah, but I was just like, oh, I gotta figure this out, and it wasn't too much long after this. I think it was maybe a year after this came out that I was like, okay, open up Unreal Engine and try to figure it out. What's funny about that is that then 5 years later, I finally really started understanding the engine, and that was more just because of the time given. Like, I really wasn't putting time into it the way I should have. And now I'm by no means a good developer, but I am comfortable in the engine, and I think that says a lot. Oh, look at you. You use old creepies. Oh, hi. Hi, you weird alien chicken-looking fetus. Yep, gotta trigger that. I thought it was really cool in the Boundary Break episode showing that Lisa actually does walk through the hallway around you. That's something else that I give a lot of props to the sound design to, is there is a literal feel to the haunting. Like, when the haunting goes away, you feel relaxed. You feel that release of tension. There it goes. Never really understood. Like, I get kind of how to trigger it, but WD-40 oil lubricant for your hinges. Then we would have such amazingly creepy sounds. Yep, that is very true. And another thing, I gotta say it. It's how cool is it that some of these loops, the only purpose of the loop is to scare the crap out of you. There's no other purpose. Like, there really isn't. Yeah, obviously move the story along, but it's more just like showing what kind of scenarios you could set up. And somehow, some way, it really kind of makes me wonder if the developers really intended for the full game to be full first person. Obviously, there would have been more mechanics if there would have been a full game, right? There would have been gunplay, shooting, probably very simplified, but shooting. I think Resident Evil 7, with their demo and what they did and all that kind of stuff, they really nailed, like, the expansion of mechanics. Where I think they fell flat was they didn't have the mental powerhouses behind their game to... Well, they did have one of the developers that worked on this work on their demo. So that's why there were so many... I don't want to say similarities, but there was a feel that did pass over. And I really do love that original, the beginning hour demo for Resident Evil. That was so good. Okay, so at this point, Lady Lisa is haunting us. She is literally following behind us. Where you at, girl? Where you at, girl? There you at. There you are. There you are in them shadows. I don't trust the tap water. There she is. You have to really juice it, but you can see her.
After neighbors called 911, found the father in his car listening to the radio. Several days before the murder, look behind you. I said, look behind you. Like he was chanting some strange spell. There was another family shot to death in the same state last month, and in December last year, a man used a rifle and meat cleaver to murder his entire family. In each case, the perpetrators were fathers. State police say this string of domestic homicides appears under 204-863. Child care and other social issues.
It's so uncomfortable hearing her walk behind you. Come on, get me, girl. Come on, girl. I need you to get me. It's not like I haven't played this game a million times with headphones. It's just for some reason this time, knowing that I'm recording it, knowing that, I don't know. And plus I'm using my nice headphones, so maybe that's it. Because I've heard some things that I've never heard before. Because I've never really used nice headphones while playing this game. Okay, let's reset the loop. See if she'll get us. There we go. Now she'll get us.
2 days earlier. This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started. Retrieved the rifle and shot his wife as he was cleaning up the kitchen. You can't trust the tap water.
I don't trust the tap water.
Commotion, the father shot him too.
There it is. 1000s of hours. It's still is probably the most uncomfortable jump scare ever made, or at least in my opinion. Car. Alright, and so we wake back up in this room. Which, I mean, again, everybody has their analysis, everybody has their theory. I have a feeling that this would have been like your save room where you wake up when you die in the game. There we go. Hey, Mr. Bag, how are you doing?
I walked. I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself. But it wasn't really me. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
If you listen close, you can hear the sounds of something scratching on the walls. So let's see. That's where I want to try to do this trick. So the idea is you walk backwards into this door, and right before it forces your head to turn, you'll see that Lisa was in the room with you. So let's see if it works. There she is. We try to show you the cool stuff on this channel. Yeah, I know where you're at, girl. Okay, let's move this along.
The family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started. Retrieved the rifle and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the
Forgive me, Lisa. There's a monster inside of me. So, another fun little story about when I first played this. So, I went to my buddy's house, and he let me play it. And he had already had a save game started, maybe 5 or 6 loops in, and he didn't know what to do. So he handed me the controller, and he's like, let's see how brave you are. You like horror games. So, of course, I'm like, look, it's a crying lady, or it's a screaming sound, or it's this, that, or the other. I was like, let's walk towards it, and let's see what happens. Anyways, we couldn't figure it out, right? So then I went and started researching, because I wanted to know. Hijo de su puta madre. Yeah, there you are. Give me that big smile, girl. That's also creepy. Notice, please. She's up there smiling at you, but she's also right behind you. Ugh. Okay, I'm out. Forgive me, Lisa. I'm out. So anyways, I went and researched, right? And then, of course, some days had passed, and, of course, people had figured out what it was. And the initial theories on how to unlock the trailer at the end started floating around. There was some general consensus on you need a microphone, you know. Yes, the red hallway. And let me show you one of my favorite freaking effects. So, and if you notice, in my own game, Haunted House, available on itch.com. I'm not going to link it in the description. Go find it. It's called A Haunted House. Anyways, I tried to recreate this look with a menu screen. I think I did a pretty good job. But anyways, so I went and researched, and I figured out how to do it. And then I went over to my buddy's house, and I was like, hey, bud, we're going to see it for ourselves. And we did a brand new save file, and we walked through the whole game, and we saw the ending. It was so cool.
Oh, I love that. A garage.
A umbilical cord they had in the garage. I can hear them calling to me from Not yet. They're not calling yet. And we're getting closer. Having had 2 daughters and having heard them cry like this, it just... And it's funny, I played this game before I had both of my daughters, so if that tells you anything, it's been a while. Let's go take a look. Oh yeah, refrigerator, you're moving, aren't you? I can hear them calling to me from hello. From Hilo? From Hlo? From Lo? There it is. Now she's gonna come haunt me. I need to hurry. I swear they use that same exact sample in Bloodborne. Either that or it's the same voice actress. Go play Bloodborne and see what I'm talking about. Again, Sony, you know, blah, blah, blah. But in Bloodborne, I guess at the beginning in Yharnam, when you get down to where you see the very first troll banging on the... You have to kind of go around the other side, see the troll banging on the door, and there's an area where you hear that. I swear it's that exact same laugh. Yeah. That was one of my favorite moments in all of this was watching PewDiePie play through this and have him go through this hallway and then be like, wait a minute, is this Swedish? And then he just like, he was totally enraptured by that. Like, I probably would have been the same way if I would have walked in and this was in Spanish. I would have been like, wait, is that Spanish? Like, what the heck? It just felt like it was so designed to kind of capture the attention. This really did. Like, I feel like this game, there was horror games before, and there was people playing online, and there was, you know, they all existed, yeah. But it was like there was this central moment where everyone came together around this. And, you know, you had your big three play it. Everybody played it, but it was just so wild. And here I am sitting 10 years on, literally have started a career in game development to put my skills in music and sound to good use. Now I'm learning how to actually program and make the games. Hopefully soon I'm gonna learn how to 3D model and stuff, and all because of this game.
204863.
Alright, I think this is... Yeah, here we go. Whee! I feel like at this point developers were like, you've been walking slow this whole time. Run. Hello, eyeball. It was so weird hearing this in Metal Gear Solid 5, but the full version of this dialogue on the radio.
Now's the time. Do it.
No turning back now. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I felt. That's how I've always felt since this game came out.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right?
Yeah, it's totally. It's
Exactly
got to be Troy
10
Baker
months
doing that.
back.
It's just got that. He's got that country drawl that he tries to hide when he does his voice acting, but like when he does other roles that aren't specifically Joel. But yeah, I've always thought it was him, and yeah, you remember right. I remember when we were at the end and struggling in Stray Souls development, and we needed a new scene. We needed something to. I mean, of course, what's there got cut way back, but it was writing the grandmother haunting the father, and you as Daniel go into the father's memory, and you start hearing what the grandmother was saying to the father in order to like twist his mind to gain control of him. And I was kind of at the end of my wits writing that kind of stuff, and I was like, look, we've already got a bunch of PT references, let's put one more. And it was that little dialogue from the fetus where it's like, oh, you liked how she looked in the skirt and blah blah blah. And I kind of took that and ran with it, and I just made up more stuff based on that. That was a lot of fun. It really was. Again, I wouldn't have done all of that had this not existed. So it's kind of one of those things where it's, to me, this is such a key moment in my appreciation of video games and interactive media and storytelling and stuff. Because there's a story here, and it's told in a way that is so off the beaten path. It's just so different. I don't know. So right hand, left hand, left hand, left hand. And there's another right hand there. Yeah, not one of them, just saying. That's interesting. And we're back to the hallway. I wonder what message we're going to get this time. So another thing that kind of really messed with me was so you have the 204863, which if you flip the numbers around, it's my birthday as well. It's also Kojima's birthday, and then it's also 204863, whatever that was intended to mean for this game. Which was always it always messed with me. I was like, how is it that series of numbers if you move around the date for my birthday? That's so weird. Not saying that there's any connection. Please don't think I have delusions of grandeur or anything like that. I just thought it was a weird coincidence, right? Well, something else that was a weird coincidence was the very first time that I got to this loop. The very first crash screen I got was, knowing you, I know you would play this game, and I'm waiting for you. That was the first crash screen I ever got. It messed with my head.
204863. 204863.
Your videotape is broken.
204863.
Huh, I'm heading there now. That's the one we got this time. Cool. All right, y'all. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I may have to pause for a moment to set it up so that I don't know if it's going to cut the sound. If it cuts the sound when I plug this thing in, I'll pause and make sure to get it working correctly. But the only point is, obviously, we want to see the trailer. We want to enjoy it all. So here goes the test. Let me plug this in and see if we lose sound. Yeah, we're losing sound. Yep. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here so that I can go into my settings and set it up so we can still hear and so that the microphone is active. Because I don't want to take my nice little fancy headphones off and use a crappy old single. That would just not be right. But I will go through one loop, just because we've arrived at what I feel like is probably the most haunting. When they did the video for TGS, the trailer, where it showed people playing the game and stuff like that, and there was a cinematic. I don't know if people remember this. It was very brief. It was a cinematic of someone walking through this hallway at night. It was way dirtier. And you get to the end here and turn, and then there was this whole beautiful camera pan, and Lisa was standing there, and it was just disturbing. It was so cool. So this loop right here and the whole puzzle and everything always reminded me of that. Yeah, I know you're coming. So I'm gonna reset the loop, and I'm gonna pause. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me do these settings, and then we will literally be right back. All right, I'm back. I got it worked out to where the microphone is connected, but we should still have audio from here. Now, which unfortunately I didn't capture, while I was sitting here on the menu screen and I was looking up just to make sure I knew which method I was going to use to get to the trailer at the end, and I got one of the other spooks that I personally have never heard. I've heard of other people and I've seen other people get it and stuff like that, but I personally have never gotten it, and it just happened to me. And of course it happened off camera, which sucks, but it was the reverse speech on the pause screen, and it just randomly happened, and I'm still suffering from chills from it, because it's just so, like, the level of detail is just so freaking wild. Anyways, so let's do this. So we need to wait. Once midnight hits, we need to walk 10 steps, wait, not move. Then we will start saying the name. And after we say the name, and we're going to use the name that's in the game files. After we say that, then we remain motionless while the controller vibrates. And once the controller's done vibrating, we should get the third laugh and see the trailer. So it may take a few tries, but we're going to get it. I waited for it to pass. Oh, that's dope. I have never gotten that either. The random ones that just pop up, I've heard about them, but I've never seen them. We're getting different stuff, or I'm getting different stuff than every other playthrough that I've had, which is so cool. Alright, come on. 60 seconds. The longest 60 seconds of my life. Jack. Jack. I love it. The most solid method is use the actual name in the game files, y'all. And there's a reason for that name. Y'all ready? You ready? You ready? Here we go.
You've been chosen.
I've never really looked around after the You've Been Chosen, so I don't know what happens if I just take my time. I don't want it to end. I'm still brokenhearted. Really looking forward to OD, hoping that OD makes up for PT. Really, really hoping it does. I think it will. I really, really love this. All right, folks, let's take a moment and just watch.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Hey. Well, folks, I don't know what else to tell you. The original is always the best. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. To use a little Death Stranding line there. I'm gonna keep on keeping on because I really believe that being someone who wants to create and make stuff and, you know, tell stories and lend myself to that whole thing is super, super, super important. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to do what I do and to share it with y'all. And I'm also really excited that I finally got this on the channel because it's, I mean, this is a piece of history. To me, it's a piece of history. To me, it's a piece of art that we just, we don't see things like this often enough. And I don't know, I don't have words. Honestly, that was a really good playthrough for me. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun talking about it and showing the cool little things and taking a little trip down memory lane. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know Ed does too, even though he's just kind of hanging out over there. Do us a favor. Do all the YouTube stuff. I'm not even going to get into it. You know what to do. Remember to love one another. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway that I've had in all of this and all the years of doing what I do for games. And yeah, I guess also thank you to the boss himself for spearheading this. Sorry you went through the struggles. Muchas gracias al maestro Guillermo del Toro for being an absolute just awesome dude. He's just an awesome guy. So I'm just grateful for them that their minds were able to at least get this far and put this out. There's no telling what maybe OD will be the one where we get to see him back and stuff. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to hear more about that one. But 10 years on, here we are. Here's Pete. Here's the channel. Here's the games that I've worked on that have done well and not so well, and all the other struggles and bits of life that have come with the 10 years that have passed since this came out, and yet it's still such a large force in my life. So cool. So cool that media and art and games can be like that. Anyways, I've been blabbering on for a long time. You're all awesome. I will see you in the next one. Oh, yeah. And I know I said it already, but I'm serious. Remember to love one another. It's super important. All right, bye.